What's up, team? I just want to talk to you about something that's super important in achieving any type of goal that you're after, and also going into every training session, into every meal, into every conversation with your partner. I want you to think about these three things: state, story, and strategy. Now, people say that your state will affect your story and that will affect the way they implement the strategy. That is so true. But I believe that state and story go in this circular loop. So your state being the energy that you're bringing. So you can be in a negative state or a positive state. You can be in a frustrated state, which is on the negative side, or a loving state, which is on the positive side. So what state are you bringing to it? Now, most of the time when we don't train, because we're in a negative state, we never go, oh, fuck, I really love training, and then we don't train. Or we don't go, oh, I really love eating healthy and stick to my nutrition plan, and then we fall off the plan. Like when we're in a positive state, we tell ourselves, so we have high energy and we're feeling excited, we feel great, we're feeling like we're loving ourselves and we're feeling at a higher upbeat. Those people that you walk into the room and you can feel them, walk into the room, they have that different aura about them, they have a positive or a high arousal state. Now with this, then that will affect your story. If you're feeling positive, then you're going to go, I can crush this training session, or I can't wait to eat this dinner tonight, I can't wait, I love sticking to my nutrition plan, I'm transforming my life. So we start telling ourselves this internal dialogue. And we have about 60,000 thoughts a day, and I think it's like 90% or 45,000 of them or higher are the same as we had yesterday. So if we keep telling ourselves negative stories, they just keep coming day after day after day. If we change that to positive stories, then they come day after day after day as well. So with this, your state, if you are in that negative state, you're feeling down, then you will start telling yourself more negative stories. But you can change the story as well. You can reframe it. So many people come to me like, I've tried all the diets and they don't work. Or it's like, well, have you tried not eating for 30 days? And they're like, of course not. It's like, well, you haven't tried them all. You just haven't tried the one that works for you. So as soon as you say, I've tried everything and nothing works, all of a sudden you're telling yourself in a subconscious manner, it's like, I cannot lose weight, and you continue to sabotage yourself if you're trying to lose weight. So instead we need to reframe the story that we have. We need to go, you know what, like I haven't lost weight until this day because I haven't implemented the correct strategy yet with the correct energy, with the correct best self for me. And I think if we start to change this story, it's like, the world's happening for me, not to me. So yes, I've been through these challenges in the past with yo-yo weight loss, but they've shown me what I don't want to be like with my energy and my body and my confidence, and it allows me to stick to the nutrition plan moving forward today. So if we start to say these more positive stories, then they'll also push us into a positive state. Now, if you have good stories, if you have a great state and you feel positive with energy, then all of a sudden we'll start focusing on our strategy, if there was an R in there, better. So we'll focus on our strategy better. So I think with this, it's like you can go into a training session and then the same session can be fantastic or it can be really shitty and it's not effective whatsoever. So with this, it can be effective or ineffective implementation of the strategy. So when we look at this, if we feel great, if we tell ourselves I'm going to crush this training session, I'm going to go all in, I'm going to max out and go as hard as I can, get as many reps in or as much volume or run as fast as I can, whatever it is, I'm going to complete it to my best, okay? We have a different outcome in that training session. Then it's like, I just got to get through the training session, okay? It's because every training session could be your last training session, so you may as well make it your best training session. I think that's how I have to look at everything with this. So effective training session or effective strategy comes from better stories and better states. You can do the same training session with negative story and negative state as an ineffective implementation. They're the same as relationships, they're the same as your nutrition plan or anything. So with this, I really want you to go, yes, the strategy is right. We're looking to lose weight. Hit your calorie deficit. Make sure you hit your protein target. Sleep 7 hours a night as a minimum. Make sure you get 8 to 10,000 steps a day. Train 4 times a week with weights. Like that's your strategy. You're going to get a body transformation if you stick to it. You'll start to drop fat. You'll change your life. That's your strategy. But if we tell ourselves negative state, if we have a negative state and we tell ourselves negative stories, then we'll fall off the strategy continuously. If we change this and we implement a poor strategy, but just better, we'll get a better result than the best strategy if we implement it poorly. So with this, guys, the biggest thing I have to look at is what's 5 ways I can change my energy, I can change my state, what's 5 ways I can change my story? Well, this is why we start with gratitude in the mornings. So it's got gratitude in the morning, gratitude at night. What happens is this bookends your days with positivity, and then you start to look for gratitude through your day. This just because we're doing that increases our awareness of gratitude, which increases our state on a day-to-day basis. Another thing you can do is you can meditate. Okay, meditation, obviously it brings you more awareness to the moment. There's more mindfulness, there's more presence. So you can catch yourself out when you slip off kilter and you can go, no, this is the ineffective me. I'm going to be the more effective me, which is a higher energy me that's bringing my best self to this situation right now. Another way you could do it, you can write down, like, what are the triggers that push me into a low state? One of the things could be just not having a great sleep the night before. So instead, it's like, make sure you hit your curfew, your PM bookend, your time you actually go to sleep, 10 p.m. That is my cutoff. Okay, because I need to have the best energy possible for tomorrow morning. It could be, having an argument with your partner. It's like, okay, when do I have these arguments? What do I have these arguments out? Can I rip out the trigger and stop having arguments? And I can stop, making that happen, or can we end the arguments on a different manner? So I was talking to someone before, they were, arguing with their partner, and I was like, you have to ask yourself, like, what's the outcome I want from this? And if you can't fix the problem right now, you need to end the problem if you've got the rest of your day. If not, you're taking that residual energy into the rest of the day. So you have an argument first thing with your partner and decreases your state. Okay, you feel super low. If you take that low energy into your work, into your training session, into your nutrition, you'll start making more poor choices, or you implement the strategies poorly. But instead, if you have that argument first thing, it's like, okay, where do I need to be for the day? And does this argument matter 10 hours from now? If it doesn't matter 10 hours from now, it's like, okay, like, this is silly. We need to move past this because we're better than this. Or you need to go, you know what, we don't have the time to solve this problem right now. We can pick this back up later today. But what I need to do is I want to tell you three things right now that I love about you. Like, I love your eyes. I love the way you do X. I love the way you do Y. And all of a sudden, we're shifting our energy. We're moving from a negative state into a positive state in a conscious awareness, because we know that is something that brings us down. We're consciously leaving that situation in a different state, so we can shift that and take that into the rest of our day. So looking at the triggers, looking at, can you rip them out? Can you respond to those triggers differently? So these are the ways that we need to go, okay, cool. That's how I can change my state. A training session can change your state. If you're feeling low, just going for a walk for a couple of thousand steps can change your state. Standing up instead of sitting down at your desk all day can change your state. Having a conversation with someone you love can change your state. So it's knowing, what are these 5 ways that I can do it. There are stories. One of the things is like, the whole self-love thing, I find it so hard. It's like, just remind yourself 10 things you love about yourself. I think that's so crucial. Like, so we're so hard on ourselves. We talk to ourselves on a day-to-day basis like we would talk to no other person. You would never say to your friend that you can't do this and you can't, but we tell ourselves this all the time. We tell ourselves we're not good enough. We tell ourselves we can't do that. We'll never get that. So we need to start being more aware on our own self-love, our own self-care. So again, bring this to a conscious awareness. It's like, what are the 5 things? Like, remind yourself, 5 things I love about myself. Have those positive affirmations that can help you rechange your stories. If you catch yourself, now they're conscious. What are the conscious stories that you tell yourself? You have to bring them out. So what are the negative things I say to myself on a weekly or a day-to-day basis? Like, write them down and then reframe them. Write them again in a better way. It's like, I can't stick to a diet. I haven't been able to stick to a diet yet, but I can now. Okay? I never have energy. I haven't had much energy in the past because I didn't prioritize my energy management, but now I do. So it's like, if you reframe it, you're changing the way you're taking this in your input. Okay? And then when it comes up again, you can bring those conscious patterns, you can catch yourself in the moment, and you can change your story, which will change your state, and then it will implement the strategy on a better basis. So please, 5 ways you can change your stories, 5 ways you can change your state. Doing these 2 things is whether you implement that strategy effectively and transform your body, or if you blow it out of the water and it's just another time that you bought another diet or another training program that didn't work. It all comes from these 2 things.